Lock in America! It's time for Straight Talk! This is the Wayne Dupree Podcast, hosted by Wayne Dupree, with co-host Jason Robertson, delivering powerful opinions, arty debates on politics, entertainment, and the hottest stories. No spin, just honest takes and real conversation! The Wayne Dupree Podcast is lit! Let's get into it right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Wayne Dupree, and it is June 2nd, Tuesday. June 2nd, 2026. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Dupree Report. I'm changing things up a little bit. Glad to have each and every one of you with us once again here on a joyous day before it starts to rain, I guess. I mean, it's supposed to rain next couple of days. But I have definitely been getting out and getting a whole lot of sun. So that's always a good thing. Before we get into everything, let me introduce you to Mr. Jason Robinson from Minnesota. What's up, Jason?
Hey, folks. What are we on? Tuesday? Welcome to the Dupree Report, Wayne Dupree Podcast, whatever we're calling it now. And we love and appreciate y'all tuning in, and so much fun stuff to go over. Spencer Pratt. I text Wayne last night. I think Trump listened to our podcast yesterday because the leaks coming out, and who knows if the leaks are real. We're kind of funny.
Looks like it is.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I'm going with it is, just for purposes of today. So, happy to be here. Happy you guys made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Okay.
Wayne's deep in thought.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let me tell you something. The man who's going to be looking at America's most sensitive secrets, Mr. Bill Pulte.
How wild is that?
He's starting this month. Also runs Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, over $10 trillion in mortgage paper. Now, whatever you think about that, here's what I know. When the people in charge are juggling that much, your savings are the last things on their mind. They're the first one on mind, though. That's why we talk about, or we give you Augusta precious metals and silver. Don't answer to any director. They don't answer to, no. Just listen to me here for a second. They don't get reshuffled on a Tuesday morning on a post. They just hold. And a weak dollar, 30-some trillion dollars in debt, inflation that won't quit. Physical metal is how you step off that ride. So go to waynesgold.com. That's waynesgold.com, or text Wayne to 35052 to get free information from Augusta Precious Metals. I mean, they A+ on the Better Business Bureau ratings, a lot of reviews up there. They believe they help many people, and they want to help more. And they're we're not talking to go horse, but we want y'all to at least try to take advantage of some of that information. Again, go to waynesgold.com or text Wayne to 35052 to get some information. No pressure. Okay. No pressure. It's just a conversation. And it's mostly about protecting what you have built. Okay. Before we
even get these professional reads, and I love it, but I'm just sitting here like, if you don't own a little bit of precious metals,
just a little bit,
get some. Like, we don't give financial advice, but we share our stories. Like, I've never once had somebody say, "Oh man, I bought that silver and I really regret it. Oh, I bought that gold, I really regret it." Never once
Yeah,
has
that's true.
this
That's
sentence
true.
been uttered in the history of our audience. I don't know.
That's
Maybe Mark. Mark's sitting on a big pile of copper or something in his backyard, and going, "God, I regret buying that copper."
All right. Yeah, we're going to get to that phone call in just a few seconds. Looks like, according to the Associated Press, PBS NewsHour, President Trump announced on his Truth Social post account that current director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency will serve as acting director of national intelligence, replacing Tulsi Gabbard. Now, according to CBS Today, Gabbard is stepping down at the end of the month. Reporting attributes her departure to her husband's diagnosis with a rare form of bone cancer, a human detail worth handling with care. We pray for her husband going through that situation. And what's her name? Bondi has the throat cancer. So
They're all getting the cancer.
There's a whole lot of sickness going around. Netanyahu needs to get sick. According to thank you, whoever in the White House is watching the show, because yesterday, we kind of talked to you a little bit. We didn't even have attitude yesterday. We just talked to you a little bit because we know where you want to go, and you somehow y'all got it. Somebody up there is somehow y'all got it. So we might not be Laura Loomer, but we damn sure know exactly what y'all need to do and how y'all need to get out of that Iran war. Okay. Also, according to CNBC, as recently as 9 minutes, Trump previously named Principal Deputy DNI Aaron Lucas as the interim successor, but the White House had not clarified as of this morning when Polte's tenure begins. Polte has no national security background. He'll keep his FHFA post and his chairmanship of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac while running the DNI office. Okay, that's the breakdown. Let me tell you something about Bill. Well, I mean, and I ain't gonna drag his name and stuff. I remember who Bill Polte was on Twitter. I mean, I remember when he first came out on Twitter. He's a millionaire, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very wealthy.
Okay, so he really didn't have a big following on social media. He didn't have a big following at all. Let's be clear. And I remember him putting out. See, Bill Polte just put some pepper on me. I remember him putting out if you the 500th person that retweets me or something, I'm going to send them $500 on Cash App. And I mean, you had to follow me and then retweet me. His numbers start going up like boom, 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 boom. I was like, really? These people are that hard up for money that they just follow this dude for that? So that was my introduction to Bill Polte. His numbers grew over 1 million and whatnot. He ran those $1,000 to, and there was a campaign. There's a certain campaign that yes, I was part of.
You retweeted him?
He gave some money to little Sammy Davis.
Oh, nice.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Huh?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. He gave some money to Sammy Davis, but wanted Sammy Davis to give it out to influencers if they promoted him in a way. But he didn't do it. So Sammy contacted me in DM. It's like, listen, I got some money. You can handle it any way you want to. You can give it to other people, and then they can tweet out. So basically, that's what I did. I just gave it whatever I got in. I just gave it out to other little smaller influencers or smaller names, so they could, you know, God told me to give it to you, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I remember old Bill. I remember Bill. He's also the mortgage guy. 50-year mortgage thing.
I was gonna say, so Bill Pulte, just to give kind of my history, like I saw the same thing Wayne did, where when you could buy ads on Twitter, because right now you can go on and you can buy an ad, you can boost post or whatnot.
Mhm.
There wasn't a lot of ways to grow your account. But there was this alternative ecosystem that exists where there's a lot of DMs back and forth. Hey, tweet me, I'll pay you this. Hey, retweet this, I'll pay you this. Like that was a thing. Now it's actually you can just do it through Elon. If you want to promote a tweet you put out, you can promote it. If that kind of thing. But a lot of people didn't know this alternative ecosystem of revenue on Twitter. And this is before 2 years ago or before Elon bought Twitter, there was no rev share. Like you didn't get paid for tweeting. You would get paid if you ran promos or whatnot on there. And Bill took it just public. He's like, hey, I'll just and it was kind of funny because a lot of normies didn't know these big accounts got paid by other people to retweet things. So it's not, and that's why you'd always see in the profile, like, hey, here's the thing. And I actually sent him a DM and he answered it. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. What are you doing? And he goes, well, I do property stuff. And he's rich. He's like 100, 200, 300 million dollars. And he's like, I just want to get word out. He does a lot of things helping people get houses affordably. And it sounds like he's been a pretty honorable businessman in the housing market prior to all this. And I mean, if you look, like his companies are pretty well reviewed. He's tried to do different things to help different communities and organizations. And he's like, I want to grow my brand on Twitter. So instead of doing it behind closed doors and nobody knows, I'm just going to throw it out there and I'll run promos and stuff. I'm like, well, good for you. And he actually did some pretty good work in housing stuff. He ran successful business. People weren't squawking that he was screwing people over or whatnot. And then when Trump picked him to work in housing, I'm like, well, it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, Bill's been like CEO of big property companies back, 10, 20 years. So it was interesting. And then he had his first faux pas, which was the 50-year mortgage. And I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea. We don't want to do a 50-year mortgage. And that lasted one news cycle before the
it was a couple of days. It was a couple of days.
Yeah, it was one news cycle, a couple, 2-3 days, and then everybody forgot about it, which thank God, 50-year mortgages we don't need.
Yeah, Trump
but then it was funny. I saw on Twitter this morning, like, oh, he's the national secure whatever Tulsi's old job. I'm like, well, this is wild because he has no background in it. So I'll be curious. I'll be curious how this goes. And by the way, prayers for Tulsi. She tweeted out this morning, like, I was a Tulsi fan back when she was a Democrat,
Dude, me and Hutch were Tulsi lovers. Okay.
Yeah.
We were like, man, if she ever joins the Republican Party, it's going to be something else. But she is, I don't even know why she's over there. Hutch would be, yeah.
And she, like, great lady. I think she did pretty good work. I'm hoping she's got a couple more weeks in office.
I like her.
I hope she does drops a few bombs on her way out the door, like good ones, like things we want to see. And prayers. Her husband's going into surgery today, so that's phenomenal. So yeah, Tulsi, great service to the country. Seems like a great lady. Like, to me, when I say a normie Democrat, like Tulsi's a normie Democrat, and her positions.
I think so.
Well, she was a Democrat, and when she was running, her policy positions were fairly normal, what you would have considered a Democrat to be 20 years. I mean, her policies weren't that far from Clinton's, which are Trump's policies right now. So I always wondered, like, why are you on stage with the communists? Like, these guys.
Well, I mean, she was close with Bernie. I mean, They were close. They were close together for some reason.
Yeah, but she never went down the we need to be socialist path.
Well, no, she did. But when Clinton did what they did to Bernie at the convention, she didn't have a spot anymore. So, she just walked away, But yeah, she
Well,
was
she ended
legit.
Kamala's campaign in 2020.
Huh?
She ended Kamala's campaign in 2020.
Heck yeah. Heck, I mean, she got back in there on the Democrat side, and I think what she was trying to, extend a little bit because she had walked away from the Democrat. Well, actually, yeah, no. Actually, she had sort of walked away from them after the 2016 election, and she got up there, and if there was anybody that I was kind of pulling for, I was kind of pulling for her and stuff, but she didn't do so hot. The Democrats kind of railroaded her after because her numbers weren't high. That's what I'm talking about. Her numbers weren't high. No, she took down
Kamala,
but she really didn't do anything. She really didn't go anywhere. So.
If you look though, her numbers were right along the bottom threshold of like qualifying for debates and stuff, and they changed the rules to like keep her off the debate stage. So had they
why don't you? Because of what she did in 2016,
right?
So I mean,
I'm saying her numbers were marginal, and she should have continued advancing. And then early on in the process, they just shut her out. They just said. They changed the rules and said in the new rules, your numbers are too low, so you're not on the debate stage.
I think that was Wasserman Schultz. Don't quote me, NewsGuard, but I think that was Wasserman Schultz and her group that were still smarting over a couple things. So yeah, she was in charge of. I think she was in charge of somebody's campaign too. But yeah, I mean, believe me, Tulsi, what she did after Syria, going over there and finding out the truth and coming back, the writing was on the wall for them to hate her because she went over there to get the truth. Because she was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. We ain't getting the right information. And she went over there and she did what other politicians weren't even trying to do, And that's what I guess gave her some status with a whole lot of people. It was like, she's legit. And plus she's a vet, So
yeah. Yeah. So what do you think of Pulte getting the job? I'm looking at the chat. We got to figure out the Rumble Studio to get chat up. I can't even pull him, but I think it's Lisa over there saying his dad was very a philanthropist. And he did a tons of development and housing. But yeah, I mean, the Pulte family is like known for being into property and doing it, pretty drama free. Like they've done a lot of philanthropy, a lot of helping figure out how people get houses. And don't get me wrong, like they did it while getting rich too. But most people are like, it's not often where you can be somebody worth like $200 million and there's like no scandal they want to pin on you. The worst scandal the dude has is the 50-year mortgage idea, which what a comeback. I thought he was out of the administration when he came up with that.
I did too. So when I saw the name this morning, I was like, who? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, I tell you what, I bet you he won't be talking about no 50-year mortgage in the job that he has now. He better keep his mouth shut and be like,
wait till the housing guy sees some of these files and he's like, oh, wow, the CIA really killed Kennedy. Like, what the hell? What do I do with this now?
Keep your mouth closed. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I was right about the Tulsi thing, but Tulsi endorsed Sanders in 2016 at the DNC convention. And then their relationship deteriorated after she left the Democratic Party. Bernie dismissed his previous praise, saying, "Oh, that was way back then." But Yeah.
Yeah, if you go back and look at that Bernie 2016 stuff, he was campaigning not as a full communist. Like, it's been masked off the last.
Oh no, he Democrat socialist is what he said. Self-proclaimed is what he said. Remember?
Right. His policy positions were more moderate than they are now. They were still too crazy for me.
He was. Are you really? You think
Yeah, go back and look at his.
He was like Norway, Sweden. We need to do stuff, and that's when the Russia thing came out, where he vacationed in Russia and all that stuff.
I'm saying he was a communist. He always was a communist, but his campaign was a little more populist. Now he's just a full-on.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because he did pick up a whole lot of young people. He picked up a whole lot of young people, but I guess because you're saying he did the populist thing back then, me and Hutch were basically saying that he was bringing like that communist type of mindset of
he's a full-on commie now.
That getting paid and free college and free this and free that and free that, and it hurt him in some of those campaigns because some of those people wanted to get up there and take the mic from him.
Right.
That was weird. I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. I paid for this mic, like Reagan. I paid for this mic. Turn the mic back on. But Jason, when I saw Bill Poulter and Jason, beautiful breakdown. It's just he kind of ticked some people off in the way that he was doing it back then, because as you said, a whole lot of people back then didn't really know that I don't even think that they were called influencers, but these people were getting paid to do or share stuff. Nobody really thought about it. Nobody was really saying anything,
do we go down that rabbit hole right now? I'm ready.
It's like, why did 20 people tweet all that stuff in the last half an hour? Even Dan Bongino. There was a website for that too. Do you remember that website?
I'm not saying that out loud, but yes, there are.
There was a website.
There still are.
Oh, really? Okay. Really? Like a thunder something or whatever, thunderclap or whatever it was called. But I remember Dan Bongino signed up for it too, back then too. That was the way things were, y'all, back then.
Well, let's talk. Okay, Elon pre-Twitter days, or pre-Elon Twitter. Like, there's this whole ecosystem of people were tweeting, and nobody was directly making money from Twitter. And if you go to run ads on Twitter, it was kind of a pain in the tail. Where, like, you can run an ad on Facebook or the other platforms if you want to promote your website or a product or whatnot. So what happened is an alternative ecosystem existed. And if you think of like the MyPillow promo codes, that was kind of part of it. When somebody would drop a meme with MyPillow promo code, whatever, promo code Wayne, like the influencer would get paid. Now, coincidentally, if you like Michael, what's that?
We had ours, didn't we?
yeah, everybody did. I mean, and like, luckily, we like Mike Lindell. We support Mike Lindell. So it's easy to endorse his product, but we made money off of it.
And then, before him.
What's that?
Before him. That's when I met you.
Freedom. Oh, before Lindell?
Yeah, I love my freedom. Or
yeah. No, I was working with.
We
Lindell,
had ours. Yeah, we had ours. We were quiet.
Yeah, but I mean, when you'd see people tweeting other people or saying, "Oh, you should follow so and so," somebody got a check to do that. Like, and there are some people that don't, who legitimately, like, I retweet people and stuff. My account is just, I don't really make much money on it or whatnot, but that whole ecosystem existed. And now, since Elon's monetized it, so Twitter pays you for making content, it has dramatically changed. And some of these accounts, like, they aren't even run by the person you think running them. You'll have Bob Smith's Twitter account, and it'll be a team of 4 different people. That's how they're able to tweet 185 times.
That is
And this
true.
whole ecosystem exists. And we call it out on the left, and it happens on the right too, where when like everybody's sharing the same message, sometimes it's, hey, this topic's popular, I'm going to tweet about it. And sometimes it's somebody got the message saying, hey, I'll pay you $500 if you tweet about this. And I mean, that ecosystem exists. So I've promoted different products before. I know Wayne has. Like, it's not like we're casting stones at other people, but and some of them are funny, like the Hodge twins, and they've come out and admitted this, but like they don't even run their own Facebook account. So when
Really?
you see the Hodge twins account, there's somebody running it. And
Hmm.
it's funny because if you ever follow like their Twitter or their podcast and then their Facebook, and they'll get called out on it every few months because the lady running Facebook's kind of off message a lot of times. And people will be like, can you believe the Hodge twins did this? And then it's like, well, yeah, they aren't running that account.
Yeah, I remember somebody asked me. They'd asked me a couple times. They were like, "Why don't you get somebody to run your stuff?" I was like, "No, don't trust anybody else to run my stuff," because they put. There's a young lady that 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 there's a young lady that worked with that has a show with the guy that you were just talking about. Has a show in his network, but her account had said a couple things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and we just happened to cross paths, and she admired me, and I really admired her, but I was like, you posted something on your account, and oh baby, I don't even run that. What? Yeah, I have a young man that runs that who looks just like you, and he posted that. Yeah, I know. I'm getting complaints all the time. But baby, I was like, baby, you need to change that then. So, yeah, I mean, once it gets, even President Trump has somebody posting for him, young lady, I forgot, pretty too. But yeah, it's
Well, and there's different levels too. Like some of these accounts, they don't even like tell you what to post. Like,
I used to allow, and even though I said I don't let nobody post for me, I was sharing. I think back during the day, you might share your account with somebody, So, so I was sharing my Twitter account with somebody back then, and they posted something about Sean Hannity. So I'm outside.
Rings.
I'm outside barbecuing. I don't know. I'm outside barbecuing. I pick up the phone. So I says, "Hey Wayne, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing? Are y'all? Am I supposed to be on? No, Sean wants to talk to you. Really? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. So here I am flipping over a burger. Sean Hannity's like, "Hey Wayne, hey man, how you doing? How's everything? Oh, fine. Yeah. Listen, you just posted something on your account, and I thought we were better friends than that. What? I posted what? No, I didn't. And to come out and say that you allow somebody else to do something on your account doesn't really sound kosher, And we'll get to that kosher thing in just a few seconds. But I was like, hey, I'll take care of that in just a few seconds. It wasn't me. I'm out here barbecuing, and I'll take care of that. Whatever. That's when me and Sean were friends. Then he decided to.
That was the end of the friendship.
I guess
the
so.
person running your Twitter account.
I guess so. So Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity. Repeat. Okay. All right, let's get to this phone call. Let's get to this phone call thing. Jason sent me something last night, and I had to, me, I got to go research a little bit more, and my eyes kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Boy, I was like, didn't we just talk about this like maybe a few hours ago? I mean, what the heck, And for those people that are just tuning in, yesterday, quick, make a long story short, I basically said President Trump really wants to get out of Iran. He wants to get out of it because of these reports and rumors and predictions of stuff that's going to prices that are going up before the midterms, and Republicans are now uneasy because they're like, oh, you don't care about our races and stuff. President Trump is trying to reel some of that in. They were so close, according to the reports, they were so close to an agreement last weekend. And then Netanyahu comes out, he's like, take 75% of Gaza to his troops, and we're going to hit Lebanon, boom, 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 boom. And Lebanon is part of the agreement for Iran. Iran says, basically, I guess that's one or two stipulations that was still outgoing. Just stop hitting Lebanon, and we're almost there. And I think President Trump was there. Bibi, his hat, my words yesterday, we're like, Bibi's focus is not on the United States. It's not. It's on his goals, So when I hear, when all of us see the words, and if President Trump is going to use those words, he's pissed off. He's pissed off, okay? If he's going to use those words against Bibi, dude, okay.
Just to jump in on a recap, Wayne was opining on how Israel has different military goals than I did, and I kind of went off like, I'm just sick of Israel.
But he's right. Yeah, you're right.
They keep getting us entangled in different stuff. I think Trump was right to start what he started in Iran. Now it's time to get out. Trump knows it. Everybody knows it. But Israel has their own ideas about what to do. But anyways, last night I just logged on to Twitter in the evening, and I saw a report breaking. It was from Axios. And so take it with a grain of salt. This might not be true. But I'll tell you why I think it is in a sec.
I know.
It was from Axios. They said Trump had a fiery expletive-laden call with Netanyahu, calling him effing crazy and yelling, "What the F are you doing?"
That sounds
Sources briefed on the call tell Axios it was profanity heavy, which Trump doesn't swear a lot. And one of the worst between the two men since Trump returned to office. Per the officials, he told the Israeli leader, "You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it wasn't for me." And accused him
that sounds like Trump.
and accused him of ingratitude and warned him that hitting Beirut would isolate Israel further. Trump also objected to the civilian toll and leveling buildings to kill one commander, and then put the brakes on the Beirut operation. In his anger, sources say, was driven by Netanyahu's escalation. And yet Netanyahu's office says the thing was claimed. And then he also, there's another quote in there, I got to find it, where Trump said, the whole world hates you now.
Oh, my God. When I read that one.
And I saw it. And, if you guys are longtime viewers of the show, we're kind of, you never take the leaks with it. You always take them kind of with a grain of salt. And then I saw an all-cap tweet from Mark Levin that said, the leak in Axios was a violation of federal law, and it's providing support to the Iranian regime, and it's Hezbollah proxy, blah, 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 blah. And he just kept going on, and I'm like, I just tweeted out, like, so Levin saying the call happened? I'm glad. I got no problem if we want to be friends with Israel, if we want to support them, but this has not been we are reaching an unhealthy level in our relationship with Israel. Mm-hmm. And the war in Iran's a prime example. Trump thought he was doing right to take out the stuff. Let's negotiate a deal. Let's move on with life. And they just want to keep blasting in Lebanon. So
I look, ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to understand. He wants to get out. That's the bottom line. He wants to get out. The midterms are less than 5 months or less than 6 months, 6.5. No, it's not even 6 months, man. It's July, August, September, October. It's less than 5 months away.
Yeah, it's close.
So, I mean, it's like
Can I go conspiracy theory for 1 sec?
What's that?
I think Trump leaked it.
You think Trump leaked it?
Or directed it to be leaked. Pure speculation, just opinion.
You know what? Why not? Why not? Because he knows, or I think he sees some of the supporters not happy with this, and with and even though many people in the administration says BB's not commanding him and telling him what to do and whatnot, this by itself is a dagger in that chest. It's like, wait a minute. If he's saying this like this, BB ain't telling him nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that narrative is gone now, for that to come out. And for Netanyahu to say, well, we're gonna hold up stuff. But God darn, he scared the hell out of you, didn't he?
I think how this went down is, and he was working with Netanyahu, and this is pure speculation. Trump got intelligence that said they had enriched uranium. Trump doesn't want them to have enriched uranium. He went, killed a bunch of leaders, sunk a bunch of Navy ships, did a bunch of things, and he feels that he has them in a position where they will give up their uranium, agree not to make more, which we all know is a lie, but what are you going to do? And he wants to negotiate the deal and get out. Like, move on, give me your stuff. Netanyahu wants to keep going. And Trump's like, no, listen, we just want to agree, have him give us the uranium and we're out. He's been pretty clear about that. And Iran's been pretty clear, we're not giving up uranium, which means they have uranium. But so that's where the negotiation is. And Israel keeps jumping in the middle and like, let's go attack these guys and those guys. And then somebody comes back and says, well, they attack first or they attack first. At the end of the day, Trump wants, I think if Iran came out and said, here's our uranium, now leave us alone, Trump would be like, that's a fair deal. We're out of here. So,
yeah, I mean, I was like, all right, Trump, I see you. I see you. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But as I have said, that as soon as they get close, and Jay, don't count out that there's going to be a missile attack on Israel that has to be responded to.
right.
I mean, and believe me, I don't know if there's any time in my political lifetime that I have seen somebody from the Middle East attack somebody and stay quiet if they didn't attack. Usually they come out and say, yeah, we did it. Yep, we sure did. But if they didn't do it, we have seen some people say, we didn't do that. So for me, I'm like, yeah, right now, today, BB's quiet. Before Friday, Israel's going to say, we just got attacked. Bomb in the east north of the city. We got to attack back. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to destroy us. They're trying to destroy Israel. Well, maybe Jason, maybe if you kept all your troops in instead of sending them to go down there and take 70% of Gaza, maybe you might be able to protect your country. But
Well, like I say, if we want to make Israel the 51st state and then it becomes United States territory that we need to defend, I'm down. Like, if we wanted to establish all the Jews at it, if we wanted to, instead of dropping them in Israel, if we wanted to drop them in, Utah, let them all settle in, hang out with the Mormons, like, I'm good, but if we're defending another country that isn't ours, like, it needs Like, there needs to be a limit to that, in my opinion. And I don't care if it's Somalia or France or England or whatever. I just don't want us intertwined with Israel. And I think this has been a bad PR 3, 4, 5 years for Israel. And Israel wants to fight a holy war, take back the Middle East, which if we want to support that, we can, but let's have an honest conversation about it. For too long, you couldn't even talk about Israel. And that was a lot of what we talked about yesterday is
most you can't
criticize them. Without running the risk of being canceled or whatnot. Although it was funny, after I was ranting about Israel, Jen comes and goes, "Huh, interesting show. So we need to look for the black vans that are patrolling the neighborhood." And I'm like, yeah, the exterminator van, you see, those aren't bugs, just so you know.
And it's it's not that I'm scared, but I do look out the window a lot. I do look out the window a lot. I mean, me and the cat, when we're in here by ourselves,
yeah, what was that?
Okay, all right. So yeah. All right. Real quick. Tonight is
Spencer Pratt's election.
LA mayoral primary. Looks like 14. He still got 14 candidates. I thought they broke that down.
No, Mark sent me his ballot. I'm still sifting through it. There's like 100 candidates on all these California ballots. It's insane.
We got, according to UC Berkeley Times poll dated May 28th, cited by CBS LA is a dead heat. Bass is 26%. Raymond is 25%. Spencer Pratt is 22%, but that is within the margin of error. Under LA rules, if no one clears 50% today, which probably doesn't look like it with all those people in there, the top two advance to a November runoff. According to People magazine, the day after announcing in January, Pratt confirmed he was a registered Republican in 2020 and won't change it, but framed his race his own way. He said in an X post, "This is a nonpartisan race. There will be no D or R next to his name. And as mayor, he would not serve either party." He explicitly pushed back on seeing his campaign as political. Actually, he wants to do a show. He wants to do it'll probably be on VH1. But saying the fire victims are across all the party lines, mainly Democrats, and don't care who's in the White House. Per Variety, on a DC trip, he noted Trump was not among the people he had met, so he's distancing from the partisan read, but notice he is not attacking Trump or the GOP. He was endorsed by Trump, Richard Grenell, and he was endorsed by Richard Grenell.
I like Grenell.
Steve Hilton.
Oh yeah.
Steve Hilton is the GOP candidate. Steve Hilton is the opponent. Well, did Hilton win?
No, I think that's tonight.
That's tonight too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That'll be funny because it's a jungle primary, and then the top two for governor advance to the runoff, or however they phrase it. So you have an open primary. The top two vote getters then go to the final. And Democrats put this in because they always figured they would always have the top two. But tonight has a wide variance. You could have two Democrats that win. You could have a Democrat and a Republican, or you could have two Republicans. So there's a lot of people breaking down the numbers a lot of different ways. But
Alaska came when what's her name? Beautiful woman, beautiful governor, Alaska. Palin. When Palin was trying to get into the Senate, I think they brought on the jungle primary up there, and that's how Murkowski got put back
Right.
in. The jungle primary is something that is, well, is a jungle primary a democratic way of doing it?
What do you mean?
Well, you're putting everybody on the ballot.
Yeah.
So everybody has a choice of like 14, 15 people, you know?
See, this is what's tough for me. I think about 2/3 of the people that vote shouldn't even vote because they just don't know what the hell's going on. And further complicating it with jungle primaries and all this stuff, like, I just don't think it improves the elected outcomes. Like, we just want competent people that aren't criminals running the government. And if you look at the number of people that have no idea what's going on or even what they're voting for or whatnot, it's ridiculous. Like, I think making voting more difficult, not less difficult, is the answer. And making it simpler, not more complicated, is the answer. So, yeah, I'm not a huge jungle primary fan.
Yeah, because I remember going to Virginia Republican convention. It was a Republican convention, and they were electing their officials in there, and in a point that almost seemed like a jungle like type primary thing, but it wasn't. But to make a long story short, there. All of the candidates were there. They had different parts of the arena, and they kept taking votes, and it was a top three. It was top. It might have been 7. Then it was rendered down to 4, and then it was rendered down to 3, and then it was rendered down to 2. But when the loser lost, then the loser would go and put their votes with somebody else. So I mean, honestly, I although that's not a jungle primary, I loved that because it felt like you were part of something that was happening in real time, which is not a jungle primary. But if y'all have ever get a chance to go to a convention, conference, whatever it's called, Republican convention, whatever. If you ever get a chance to go and see how they really do that and stuff, it's really something. If you're into politics, it's really something to watch, because all we see is the sausage. We don't see how the sausage gets made, and that's stuff that you see. Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention, that's for fluff. That's for TV. Most of that stuff is happening while the TV cameras are off. All that, all those states and stuff, and all that mess. All that is just for the big time TV. But if you ever really go for a state thing, that's why I think we should get rid of federal government. Get rid of federal government. Just get back to the states.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny. So, two anecdotes about that. First, did you know that we used to not even elect senators?
Was it senators? Yeah.
Senators were chosen by the state representatives, and they picked who would go be the senator. There was no electing a senator.
Yep.
You had to elect competent state representatives, and then your state representatives would then elect your senator, and that got changed. But that's how it used to be. There was supposed to be a mechanism to just keep the democracy from becoming, or to keep us from becoming a democracy. Like, we were always designed to be a constitutional republic, not a democracy. But it's fascinating to watch process play out in Minnesota this weekend. The GOP had their conventions, for lack of a better term, I can't remember what they called it, where the GOP delegates from around the state elected who they were going to support for or endorse for the Republican Senate candidate, the Republican governor, and and then after this, it's like, oh, so and so is now the nominee or is who the GOP is supporting. Well, then you still got to go run a primary, and then you go run a primary, and then who knows what happens. It's fairly convoluted, but yeah, I think I think the lack of knowledge that the average voter, like if it was me, I would make everybody pass the citizenship test before they got the right to vote. Like even if you're a citizen, like they talk about three branches of government, they talk about all the different components of our republic, and I think if you gave that to the average citizen, they would have a hard time with it.
Yeah, I think, and I agree. A lot of people shouldn't be voting. You said 2/3? No, 1/3.
Oh yeah, I think at least 2/3 shouldn't
I
be.
yeah, I think 1/3 should vote. I don't think. I think the if you bring those people in there that Jason was talking about, and then you also include the thugs and cheaters that try to how you call it? Try to influence elections. Try to stuff ballot boxes and different things like that. They shouldn't vote either. So, or they shouldn't even be close to a ballot box, or even the places where polling station. They shouldn't even be close to polling station.
Well, and it goes further than that. Like I think if you are on welfare, like welfare isn't supposed to exist, right? I mean that we made that up, last century. But if you're on welfare, you shouldn't be able to vote. I also think if your business is run by government contracts, you shouldn't be able to vote. Like both ends of the spectrum shouldn't be able, like if you're going to have a financial interest or benefit from who you elect, neither one should vote. You know what I mean? So if Elon Musk is going to run a company that's going to survive on government contracts, Elon shouldn't vote. And frankly, his employees shouldn't vote either. Conversely, if you're sitting in the projects and haven't had a job and you're getting your government assistance, like you shouldn't get to vote because you're just going to vote to take money from productive Americans.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to. What do you think about? You think Byron Donalds is going to win his race down there?
I haven't followed it that closely. I'll have to look at it. It wasn't looking great for him, which was surprising. I always liked Donalds.
Yeah, I just read he got $81 million or something. He just raised $81 million, but it looks like a lot of that is AI tech. And Florida people are complaining about the data centers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The data centers things is starting to become big time, isn't it? With this water.
Yeah, there is something there, and I don't know exactly what. I mean, these big AI data centers are putting up all over the country. It's killing electrical prices, sucking up a lot of resources, but the rich and powerful are very convinced we need AI data centers. And so to me it feels like the rich and powerful know something we don't. and and I don't know if it's right to chase the data centers out of here or not, or what they're envisioning with AI. It's all kind of fascinating.
Jason, give me some last thoughts. Let's get out of here.
Last thoughts, first thought. Hey, thank everybody for tuning in, and thanks for putting up with us while we figure out this Rumble Studio. It's harder to pull up some of the chats and all that stuff, and so we appreciate you guys tuning in. Love still seeing. I can't see the Facebook one, so I probably got to look at that. Rumble,
Facebook's not on here. YouTube's not on here, and
YouTube's on there.
YouTube is on here.
Yeah, YouTube's in the chat. I can see JR, Patricia, Lisa.
Okay.
And then the Rumble chat's always active, so we appreciate you guys tuning in. Second thought, shout out to Wayne and encouragement to everybody. Wayne's been out walking like 3, 4, 5 days in a row. If you're not doing,
I ain't doing it
just
today.
go for a walk. Go do it today. Thank us later.
I ain't doing
Go
it
take
today.
a mile or two walk. You'll
That's
love
too much.
it. You'll feel better. The sun, all that stuff. And then my final thought, like, God, I'm reading this really good book. It's like the 12th book in the Joe Ledger series, and they're introducing this concept that the church was that the Christian, Catholic, whatever church had a deal with the Muslim church where they would always have war, because when when holy wars were going on, it meant more people gave more money to the church. Like, this is kind of the
That sounds
overriding.
right.
It's funny. It's the overriding like conspiracy theory in this book is that the Muslims and the Christians, and they haven't touched on the Jews yet. See how they fit into it, but they're like, hey, when we have a war, like, more people give money to the church, and I'm like, oh, this book is this, and like Jonathan Mayberry writes a book, and he writes it very plausibly. The first book he wrote was about like a zombie plague, and this was like 20 years ago, and he actually had science that could make the zombie plague feasible, and he's like connecting the intelligence community, and I'm like, man, this was a fascinating left turn where it's like, what if both churches are working together to get attendance? I'm like, oh, that was fascinating. But and it was funny because then it kind of ties into the Trump thing. Like, I bet Trump leaked the Netanyahu thing because he's like, I want people to know I'm not being led around by the nose.
That's what I would. Yeah. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense though. But yeah, you said no, I trust the Jews. Did you say that?
Like, he hasn't addressed the Jews yet, because if you're gonna tell a religious story, that's got to be in there. I mean, because let's face it, the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians have all kind of had
Sound like a joke. This sounds like a joke. You're going to tell a joke,
right? Yeah, no, I don't need the black exterminator van outside the house.
Oh Lord. Oh man. Okay.
Everybody have a great day, though.
Yeah. A couple stories today. One job. Don't take the headlines where a lot of people out there are just reading the headlines and not reading into, or they're not reading the story. Jason likes to read. They're not reading the story. They're just going by their headlines. So we're asking y'all, whatever we talked about today, even you too, NewsGuard, and Trump administration, thanks for watching.
Get us out of Iran. Bring the boys home.
That's it. I mean,
they can bring the uranium too.
I still think, man. I still think that if we leave, we're going back over there. Because
we just got to get the uranium.
Let's
get the deal done. Let's get the uranium and let's move on. Oh, Paul just said Bitcoin is falling. I saw that today.
Is it in the 60s?
I have to look it up. I think this morning it was in the 60s, 67 maybe. So let's get to 50 and we load the boat, Wayne, and then we retire.
At least you ain't say nothing about getting a dog.